Hello, we are thrilled to greet you from our new home at the Battersea Arts Centre, which has hosted everything from radical thinkers to beatboxers.
So you should be able to handle a few artists.
But can today's artists handle the Battersea Arts Centre and the challenges we've set them? Welcome to a brand new series, Portrait Artist of the Year 2020.
Over the next 10 weeks, talented artists from across the UK and Ireland will be given the task of creating a portrait in just 4 hours.
4 hours is a very short time, goes very quick.
Wish I had a bit longer, really.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Their skill and stamina will be challenged.
This is a whole new pace of drawing that I didn't even know I had.
Really panicking now. I want to scream.
They'll face not just an audience, but a range of celebrity sitters.
How you doing?
From national treasures
I could pickle me walnuts.
to faces we know and love.
You brought some glamour to the Battersea Arts Centre.
Gracias, I tried.
You look lovely.
Thank you.
That might be a little tricky over 4 hours, sitting forward.
what about
but if we get you a...
this?
Yeah.
It's for my mum, by the way, so make it a good one.
And begin.
You're painting a very calm sitter. Do you think she could turn?
Well, when these turn, she might turn.
Oh, I see, OK.
Oh my gosh.
I'll say it in one sentence. Wow.
And they're all here to compete for a life-changing prize, a £10,000 commission to paint music legend Nile Rodgers for the Royal Albert Hall.
But first, the artists will need to attract the attention of our eminent judges. Independent curator Kathleen Soriano, award-winning artist Taishan Scherenberg, and art historian Kate Bryan.
There's a lovely richness to it.
I think that's too much flattery for this minute right now.
Oh, I can be really hard on it later, don't worry, I'll tear it apart.
So which of our artists will have the courage?
I've blocked in some red emulsion. It might be a gamble.
Ooh, I need to just step up the pace a bit.
And the passion
I'm standing back. I'm frightened of getting hit by a brush.
to get them through to the semi-final?
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
It's all in the mind.
You can see right through her skull at the moment.
Don't say that, don't influence me.
I'm not saying anything about the big hole in her head.
You're mean.
Of today's 9 artists, 5 are amateur. Jennifer Chung, Jack Briggs, Inma Garcia Carrasco, Joe Halden, and David Trelaw.
To prepare for today, I've been painting every single day, but I love painting, so what can go wrong?
And 4 are professional. Peter Holt, Charles Williams, Lee Boyd, and Lauren Carter-Bridges.
With a portrait, you can either get 2 hours in, it's great, you want to leave it, or 3 days in and you're still scraping it out. So that's my biggest fear today.
As the artists prepare their materials, the judges take a closer look at the self-portraits that earned them their place here today.
That is photographic paper. So the artist is using a very smooth surface and really working with the materiality of the paint.
So slidey.
Slidey, yes.
Yeah.
He painted that using 30 brushstrokes.
I think this artist has shown a real bravura.
What a poser.
It's like the antithesis of Donald Trump, the size of that hand.
And I'm really taken with the way he paints the hands and the feet. It's full of narrative detail. We get a really full set. I hope today they tackle the set.
It's got a sort of timeless quality to it, not least of all because of the subject matter, the mother and child.
Of course, the reversal where the child is actually holding the mother, it gives it a very moving sort of feeling. I like the gaze because it is really immersed in observation and not self-conscious.
It feels very true and honest.
I mean, the colour tones are absolutely marvellous. Well, we love a tondo. We love a round painting. It's a Renaissance device, and here, taken by way of Asia.
That beautiful grey-green with that burnt orange, I think shows someone who's got a real sensitivity to colour.
Looks like a lot of work's gone into this.
It takes hours. You see the blackness that is there on the left-hand side, and then the beautiful light where you see every stitch of that woolen jumper. It's a real tour de force.
Just a pair of pointy ear coming out of there. He could be in Lord of the Rings.
He's got the balance right of painterliness, and then there's some very precise places, the mouth, the nose, that little shadow under the T-shirt. He's a very proficient artist.
Those incredible colours, that yellow allows the T-shirt to just sing.
Yeah, and there's like a handful of very crude lines in the face, but I saw the artist in passing, and it has caught him, absolutely. It's extraordinary.
I really want him to look exactly like this.
He does. That's really delicate, of the dewy, fresh, young skin.
To somehow give us a real sense of that dark hair on the black paper.
It's so real, isn't it? I really want to pinch that nose.
Well, we should make that happen.
Keen to get started, all our artists are missing is their celebrity sitter.
Artists, as a 10-year-old actor, your sitter was capable of moving audiences to tears. More recently, he's moved them to laughter as the awkward schoolboy, Otis. We hope there'll be no tears today. Please welcome Asa Butterfield. With a string of awards by his early teens, Asa has starred in critically acclaimed films like The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, Hugo, and the Netflix series Sex Education.
Great, thanks.
Ever had your portrait done before?
No, at least not in this environment.
No.
No.
How do you feel about it?
I'm a little bit nervous, actually.
I'll tell you something. You're the sitter. What you do is right. They've got to be nervous. Are you nervous? No, not really.
Your sitter today is one of Britain's best-loved comedians. He wants you to get your paintbrushes out. And when I say out, I mean out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mickey Flanagan.
From a varied career as a trainee teacher, furniture maker, and even a kitchen porter, Mickey is among Britain's most successful stand-up comedians. So we thought he might enjoy a sit-down.
I was hoping for a sofa, but you can't get everything, can you?
That's pretty comfortable.
Might need a cushion. I'm at that stage in my life, I think, I need a cushion.
I need a cushion. We'll get you a cushion.
Yeah?
Yeah. You had your portrait painted before?
No.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
I'm hoping you're not going to caricature me too much, because I've got quite a big face. Have I?
This is when you say no, Mickey. Your face is lovely.
No, that's all I'm hoping for. Just
something real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Artists, your sitter is one of Britain's rising television stars. She's fought aliens, she's tracked down the bad guys, and in a famous television scene on a train, she set the nation's pulse racing, including mine. So please welcome Anjli Mohindra. Anjali's acting career started with the Sarah Jane Adventures and Dark Heart. But it was playing Nadia in the BBC drama Bodyguard that had viewers on the edge of their seats. That was a terrifying moment in Bodyguard.
Yeah, I feel so fortunate to have had such a great part.
Now, have you had your portrait painted before?
No, not from when I can remember.
How do you feel about 4 hours? One
a
position?
little daunted. I'm quite a fidgety bottom, so, but this is a very comfy chair.
What do you think? How do you feel?
If you could look sort of in that sort of direction.
Great.
Because then that gives us all the best opportunity to draw your beautiful face.
Great, very diplomatic, lovely.
That might be a little tricky over 4 hours, sitting forward.
What about
but if we get you a...
this?
Yeah.
Put one
That
leg
work
over
for
as
you?
well. One leg over the side, please.
That's dangerously sexy.
I want him to be, like, looking at an angle.
Looking that
not
way?
straight at
That's
me.
a good angle.
You OK with that? Are you OK with that?
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm comfy. This seat is way more comfy than I expected.
Well, enjoy it.
Artists, your preparation time is over.
You have 4 hours to complete your portrait. Good luck, everyone. Your time starts now.
OK, thank you.
That's all right.
Most of today's artists seem to be limiting their composition to a head and shoulders. Just one is taking a wider view.
You've gone full length.
I've gone full length.
You've gone the full body.
Whether I'm regretting that at the minute or not.
We get the hands,
sure,
we get
yeah.
the feet. Now you've got the rough shape. What happens next?
Once I've got my drawing right, I'll put in all the darks, put in all the lights, changing it all the time usually, because I've normally done something wrong.
Right.
Jack Briggs is a 26-year-old supermarket assistant from Welshpool. His self-portrait took 2 months, in between his other job as an apprentice tattoo artist.
These are good.
Thank you very much. I've got a few that I did myself, but they're in places you can't see. It's like high up on the leg.
Oh, so you can see them if you take your clothes off? I bet not.
Oh, yeah, I meant you
can't
can't see. I mean, you personally can't see them.
Stephen, you are never going to see my tattoos. Can I just get that clear right from the
Exactly.
start? Are you practiced on yourself?
Yeah. Before you tattoo anybody, you have to tattoo yourself, yeah.
Same apply to painting?
I get fed up with my own face. It's one of those, you end up painting yourself a lot because you can never get other people to paint.
Right.
So you think, oh, I'll just do another one of myself.
The world's biggest bee has just come in, I think.
Is that someone really disappointed with their picture? Just start again.
Hello. What are you doing?
Everyone can hear you.
Sorry about that, everyone. I'm trying to add texture to the painting. I brought this.
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
No, it's nice and smooth, actually.
Yeah, but I mean texture as in visual.
Oh, visual texture. Ah, OK.
And I like it to look rustic as well.
So you put loads of paint on and now you're sanding it off?
Yeah.
Inma Garcia Carrasco is a business analyst, originally from Malaga in Spain. The kimono and cabinet in her self-portrait reflect her passion for Japan and took 20 hours to complete.
Why did you choose these colours? You've got this very vibrant green and your set is pink and blue.
Pink is too similar to her color scheme.
OK.
And the background, it doesn't say that much, it's just 2 colors, so I choose my colors.
Colours work in relationship to things. And, you know, we've got this pink in the background, and you're not going to be working in relationship with that. Does it make it problematic?
It will be more difficult, but her skin color and her features, I think, will go much better with a more striking background.
Well, it looks fascinating, and we haven't seen this before, so I'm looking forward to seeing
You
how
got
it
our
evolves.
attention with the sander, for sure.
Every artist has their own individual approach. Some start with colour and texture, while others prefer to concentrate on the form.
Well, Charles, you've made a fantastic start. I mean, you've got Asa already, and you've done it with big strokes. So you are confident in your skill.
Yeah, yes.
And this is your second
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
is that right?
number one's down here.
OK.
And I expect I'll do a few more. I'm trying to work out what I'm doing. It's like a number of rehearsals for the final one. I do want the colour to be powerful. That's kind of why I rehearse, because I don't want to be muddying up colours. I'll go through several
5, 6?
hours of, yeah, maybe.
Really?
And
5,
then,
6?
and then, yeah, the last hour or so will be painting.
Charles Williams is a self-confessed art geek whose paintings have been collected by celebrities like Paul O'Grady and Jim Broadbent. His self-portrait in oils is an example of his deceptively simple style.
I can see the black's already been introduced,
Yeah,
and of
yeah,
course your
yeah.
self-portrait is so characterised by the heavy black that you
yeah.
have around the outline. Do you normally introduce it at this early stage?
Yeah, but right now, everything's panic.
Panic? You
Yeah.
seem so relaxed.
Yeah.
You seem very cool.
Thanks.
You came out of the blocks so quickly.
Yeah, but that can be a mistake, can't it?
You had a likeness within seconds. It was a piece of magic.
I can lose it very, very quickly.
Well, I've got faith in you. And I love the fact you got one hand in your pocket. Very casual. It's like you just walked past an empty easel and thought, oh, there's some brushes there. Mickey Flanagan's sitting over there. I might paint him a bit.
I've just knocked one out and another painting out, and I'll move on to the next one.
It's amazing. Straight away, she's got you so quickly.
Jo Halden is from Stockport and works part-time as a care assistant, allowing her time to focus on her first love of painting. Her self-portrait in acrylic took 3 days.
I know you've just gone for the head and the shoulders.
The head's the more interesting part. Sorry.
Is it the moobs that you were worried about?
The painting does stop just above your moob. So
Good. How far through would you say it looks?
I think she could be finished in about 10 minutes, the way she's going.
It's almost an hour into today's 4-hour challenge.
The thing that's concerning me is just getting this drawing right. I keep looking at it and I think it will be okay the second I've worked it out.
The longer I look, the more things I see. So really, the next hour or so, I am just exploring.
I'm working on the eyes because as soon as I see the eyes, I see her, and then the painting will start talking to me and telling me what it needs.
Here at Battersea Arts Centre, 9 artists have 3 hours left to paint Mickey Flanagan, Anjli Mohindra and Asa Butterfield. With all the lights, cameras and crowds to distract them, it's essential to keep to their plan.
My strategy today is just keep an eye on time. Don't mess up, obviously. I know where I should be at each hour, and I'm really going to try and stick to it.
Lauren Carter-Bridges is a full-time artist from Bolton. She entered our competition 2 years ago with a painting showing her wrapping a towel around her daughter. The judges loved this year's submission, which showed the same situation in reverse. Rather unusually today, she's working on aluminium.
I'm not technical in any way, but that looks like quite a slippery surface. And paint is quite slippery. So how does that work?
It doesn't.
It doesn't?
Really.
Okay.
Not at first, anyway.
Okay.
You've just got to get something on, let it dry a bit. It gets stickier as you go.
So why don't you use something sticky to start with?
I like that. It makes me start like this, which I understand looks hideous at the minute.
Is that possible, to make me look hideous?
It doesn't look hideous. It looks like he's been in a fire, maybe. It looks
He
like
does. He looks melted.
He looks a bit melted. In a good way. It's really interesting because some paintings you can tell very quickly where they're headed.
Yeah.
And you can't really with this one, can you?
No.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, I'm quite impressed already that you're being so unbelievably generous with your paint marks.
Essentially what I'm trying to do is not look too much at the person and to see them as blocks and shapes.
Oh, so remove any sense of their personality and their soul
yeah.
and just see them as shapes.
As a shape, but then later, when the brushes get smaller, there'll be a few gestures that hopefully capture the likeness.
David Trelaw is an art teacher from London who imposes constraints on himself to avoid over-painting. He limited the brushstrokes in his submission to just 30 to keep things under control. And today, he's trying something else.
These geeky colour references here, when the artists come with this, it gets me very excited. So you've sat at home, and you've got all your paints out, and you've made annotations to yourself.
I tend to work in a really mudgy way. I kind of get stuck in.
What word was that, mudgy?
Mudgy. I tend to just go for it.
Yeah.
And so everything turns into a big mudge, and I've got no control of it, essentially. So I've tried to remind myself of exactly what I'll get as I mix the colours to try and control the greyness of the paint, essentially.
I think it's a great start.
Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant lighting at the moment. Definite shapes and forms. I like the ruffly bit on the dress as well, and the blue background. So it's a very strong composition, I think.
Peter Holt is a former illustrator from West Yorkshire. His self-portrait took almost 15 hours and shows his confused expression when trying to understand modern-day life.
This blue background, I can see you've picked up on essentially what we've got behind, and you use that blue in your self-portrait as well. Is that a favourite colour of yours, maybe?
It's all over between me and ultramarine.
OK.
It's cobalt now, right?
Right, I see. And what does that bring?
I just like the colour. I just like the warm dress and then the cold background.
I have to say, the colours couldn't be more perfect. You've got such a gift there. You'll give us a completely finished portrait, presumably, by the end.
I'll do my best, ma'am. I'll do my best.
Good, good, good. That's what we'd like to see.
The 3 different backdrops for the sitters today pay tribute to one of the world's most famous artists.
The set's today referencing Picasso's life and art. So we have his Breton shirt that he was photographed in quite often. We've got a nod to his love of bullfighting. And in this section, we're looking at his rose and blue periods. There were separate periods early on in his career, quite pronounced bodies of work.
What was it like for an artist to have such bold colours behind a sitter?
No, I think it's a rather beautiful combination. And Anjli looks fantastic, framed by both of them. She's awake, so...
She's awake?
No, I mean...
You don't have very high standards. Oh, I see. She's active.
She's active, and she's there for our artists, so and that makes a difference.
Well, let's see if it translates into the portraits.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'm trying to exude like a warmth and a confidence. Of course, it requires a certain amount of energy to stay in positive thought mode. It's a weird experience, but I'm kind of enjoying it.
So this one behind us is Pablo Picasso's famous Breton shirt, which of course he made the ultimate symbol of artistic bohemian cool.
Now, what about Asa as a sitter?
Asa is young, you know, he's cool. This is very much him. So actually, he should be good to paint.
It's almost quite meditative in a weird way, knowing that there are people drawing you. I feel like I should be doing something, but that would actually, I think, throw everyone off.
So this wash of red and pink Mickey's sitting in front of.
Picasso was obsessed with bullfighting. The wonderful deep red is a nod to the matadors' capes.
The artists were grumbling about that colour when I got here this morning. They weren't happy. I don't know.
I'd have to say Mickey looks pretty good against it.
Let's disqualify them all.
Do you think? Yeah. We should just not pick them.
Just get them out of
here. But Mickey's such a good sitter.
He's a good sitter, yeah. It's not his fault.
I didn't realise how fidgety I would feel. The minute you can't move around, you suddenly want to. Everything's suddenly slightly itchy and tight, and I want to keep on doing, you know?
Having a sitter who moves is a challenge for anyone. But for a younger artist, having a sitter at all is a rare experience.
I would have liked to have drawn a bit more from life, but I've never had people sit for me, and I've only ever drawn teenagers, so I'm glad he's a young sitter, because I'm really slow. I'd have to spend a lot of time on wrinkles.
Jennifer Chung is a 17-year-old A-level student from Nottingham. Her self-portrait took 4 days and was created with coloured pencils on black card.
How did you discover this being a favoured approach with the black paper?
Doing my GCSE art, I picked up a white gel pen and I thought, that's cool. Not many people go for that kind of background.
It's very bold and it's very unrelenting, so you have to be very practiced. But of course, you're working from a photograph on your phone.
Yeah, on my phone I amp up the contrast and the black point. It just brings out more shadows, which is a big part of my artwork.
Well into the second hour, most artists are already well into their portraits. But one looks like he's barely started.
Lee, you definitely have the subtlest approach. And you're working with this very... There'll be shades of grey.
It's a very slow process to begin with, but as you go along towards the end, it should speed up a little bit more.
Okay.
As soon as you put a dark in, it's very hard to shift.
Right.
So you need to kind of plan out where it's going to go.
Lee Boyd is a part-time art technician, originally from Middlesbrough. His self-portrait took around 3 days, with a variety of pencils, to perfect textures and light. But drawing isn't the only thing he does in his spare time.
I'm an extra.
In my business?
Yes. Probably one of the biggest ones would be Game of Thrones.
Right.
So I've been dead a lot.
You've been dead a lot?
Been dead a lot.
I might have to watch the series back again and
If you watch it in slow-mo...
Do you sit there and go, that's me?
That's me. That's
Not
me.
moving,
Yeah.
doing my job?
Dead. And recently, just in line of duty.
Got a better CV than me.
The artists have just over 2 hours left.
I'm just considering maybe starting again because I don't like the angle and I don't like the position.
It sounds like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself.
I think you've made a pretty good start there. And there's a lovely richness to it.
I think that's too much flattery for this minute right now.
Oh, I can be really hard on it later, don't worry, I'll tear it apart.
I am thinking about all the stuff I've learned this morning, the way Asa sits, where he looks, so that information will just come out on the final painting now. I fervently hope.
I'm worried about losing some of the nice colours that I've got and putting something horrid over the top. I think it's teetering, you know, it could get better or it could get worse.
I haven't got the likeness yet. I haven't got my shapes in the right place, and my colours are starting to go into that mudgy hell. Hopefully, I'll bring it all together at some point. It's not happened yet.
We're halfway through. There's Charles with a completely blank canvas.
It's all going to plan. He was going to start with the canvas after lunch. He's reducing Asa into his basic elements.
He's obviously been training to get to this moment where he's got all the information he needs, practice and in place. And I think the final painting will come quite quickly now. I must say, I love David's beautiful painting and how Asa has been somehow made into paint and he's really there without it being slavishly a copy of it. I don't know how David's done it. It can only get worse.
Exactly. I feel like we should go and confiscate it.
Yes.
He's definitely got something of Asa, but it's maybe a bit too heavy. It needs to sort of become slightly more delicate.
But some people, the likeness in their head is so subtle, it's very difficult to find. It could be the curse of the beautiful young woman where there's very little to hold on to, but I'd find in Anjli's section a lot of them are having problems with her likeness.
Inma set herself up to create more problems because the colour is completely wrong.
But the likeness is very moving, isn't it? It's the likeness of a beautiful woman.
Yeah, I mean, there is a beautiful woman there. It's not quite Anjli yet. It could be, though. Although I will say that in Mickey's section, I think all three artists are closer to likeness because I think Mickey's actually great to paint. It's got great features.
Startlingly early on, Joe's painting had Mickey. She'd only done his forehead, and I could see it was him.
What she's doing is really good. It's Mickey.
Yeah.
Now, Lauren was thinking of starting again.
I don't think she should start again. There's a decent enough likeness that I feel confident that someone who is as used to playing with paint can enhance and refine.
She's very jumpy, and I don't think she needs to be.
Yeah.
We've got an exciting second half, haven't we?
Yeah.
What an afternoon it's going to be.
I've been taking sneaky peeky looks, and the range in style, they're amazing.
I'm looking for an essence of myself in the pieces today. I love paintings that look like real life, but are completely open to interpretation.
The few people who have drawn me, my face is always like massive eyebrows, quite a big nose, hair crazy. I'm really hoping they've tempered that a bit. I'm hoping I don't look like a lunatic, basically.
I understand that after 46 preparatory paintings,
Yeah.
we're now reaching the actual one.
Yeah.
You know we've got an hour and a half to go.
Right.
Yeah.
What am I going to do in that time?
Well, a painting, hopefully. What about the background? There's a lot happening there.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with the background.
Sounds like you're not going to do anything with the background.
I'm probably not going to do anything.
You're not going to do anything with the background.
Last time we talked, you were thinking of starting again.
I very nearly did. It's a fairly normal process for me to go through that phase, but I hope I'm getting there.
It's emerging, so hold on to it.
Okay.
Artists will often leave work overnight and come back to it the next day to help spot mistakes. But with a 4-hour challenge, that's not an option.
I've just realised that one of his eyes is a bit too high up. I've slightly lowered his eyebrow. It's still not right, but I could go on forever. Whatever's good in there, I'm going to spoil it.
David, you've been pushing a lot of paint around for a long time.
Yes, and trying to get that balance of a good painting as opposed to just a good likeness. Is there a nice balance of colour, tone? You can't really try and capture the likeness until the very end.
It sounds very exhausting.
It is very exhausting. It's a proper battle.
There's just over half an hour left till the end of the challenge.
What's the last thing you'll do?
Maybe the hair.
It's because you can see right through her skull at the moment.
Yeah, but I might leave that. But I don't know, don't say that, don't influence me. Don't say that.
I'm not saying anything about the big hole in her head you've left.
You're mean. I'm drawing like I've never drawn before. This is a whole new pace of drawing that I didn't even know I had. I ran out of time last year. I said I wouldn't do it this time. I'm running out of time again. So, we'll see.
Asa Butterfield, Anjli Mohindra and Mickey Flanagan have been sitting for their portraits for almost 4 hours. The artists now have just 10 minutes to add any finishing touches.
Four hours is a very short time, it goes very quick. So keep going till the end.
I don't think I'm going to get it done, unless it is done, or maybe it was done.
Every brushstroke that I put in is a whole new problem. I think she's way more beautiful than my painting.
Artists, you have 5 minutes left.
It's not exactly where I want it to be, but I don't want to risk doing, just one brushstroke could take a whole facial feature out.
I'm leaving it, I think. It's okay, but I don't think I can make it better now. I think I can only make it worse.
Artists, your time is up.
Please put down your equipment and step away from your easels.
The moment has finally come for the sitters to see the portraits and to choose one they'd like to take home. So, Asa, I can see you're already bending and stretching,
Yeah.
so it was obviously quite exhausting.
It kind of makes you tired doing nothing. But this is exciting.
Well, this is the moment. Artists, will you turn round your easels, please?
Wow. Bloody hell. They're all really, really different.
As indeed are the artists. Come and meet them.
Yes. It looks like me. I don't know why I'm surprised, but it really looks like me.
This is probably the third, fourth.
Oh, it's the 6th.
Punchy. Now, this is quite scary. This looks like a photo. And you've even got my pathetic facial hair in there as well. Thick with paint and texture.
I must tell you, he teaches art.
He teaches art?
So-
Oh, you're cheating, then.
So now, the moment of choice.
OK. And the painting that I would like to take home is David's. Really, I love it. It's amazing.
How was it?
It was harder than I thought. And just people just staring at you all the time. And that was very
It's like being
odd.
in the zoo.
It was a bit. When that banana came over, I thought this is going too far now.
So I think the time has come Artists, can you please turn your easels?
They are all brilliant. Nothing like I've expected them.
Really?
Really, nothing.
Let's start over here. Bit of side-eye from Jack.
Yes, it looks like I'm looking a bit askance. Did you know you were going to do this as soon as you saw me?
No, not at all.
No.
I knew I wanted to put the whole body in. Anyone was here.
Why not? There will be female viewers who are going,
Exactly.
I need to see the whole body, really. I can't enjoy this.
Oh, great work, Jack.
It really looks good.
Now, this is the straight on.
It feels like the start of some sort of cop drama. This is the guy we're after.
Oh, I thought you were one of the police.
You've left this bit white. Did you run out of paint? Yeah. But I think it's absolutely superb. I love it. You were taking me from the side. Did that make it harder, or...?
It would have done if you were a rubbish shitter, but you were good.
A rubbish hitter?
Did I just say you were a rubbish shitter?
Hitter.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, people. No, this, I think it's absolutely brilliant. And to have done it in that amount of time,
Great work,
very
Lauren.
difficult.
Nice work. Right.
Yeah.
Time to decide.
I'm going to go with this one.
Well, Anjli, how do you feel?
I feel really nervous. And I don't know
Nervous?
why. Yeah, this isn't about me, but I'm really excited. Maybe that's what it is. I'm really excited.
OK, artists, this is the moment. Please turn round your easels.
Bloody Nora. My gosh, wow. They're all so different, but I can see myself in all of them. This is really weird.
Come and meet the
Yes.
artist.
Like the hair and the skin, the way the light catches those is just incredible. Thank you. It's so weird because it's me. Do you know what I mean?
It is.
Oh my God, the hair, the way you've caught the light on that, it's incredible. And my eyes as well. It looked like I'm looking at something I really love, and I was looking at a piece of metal, so wow. That's amazing. This is amazing. There seems to be like a lot of texture. I felt like I wasn't giving you much of my profile, but that's not the case at all. Great, thank you.
Well, now this is the moment when you make your choice.
I think it's gonna have to be, because of the colour Inma, the flower centre. Thank you so much.
While the artists take a well-earned break, the judges examine their finished work.
I think Lauren made the right decision not to start another one, but persevere with this one, because I think it's turned out very well. I love the fact that it's darker, it's got a strange atmosphere, and Mickey looks like he's mid-motion. It's very alive.
I think Jo, she's just masterful in the way that she puts paint down. It feels like it's very lively and that there's lots there, but actually it's quite economical.
Some of the colours are beautiful, just around the neck and stuff. Yeah.
I'm really pleased that Jack decided to go full Mickey. I do think the proportions are slightly wrong.
This feels like the character of Mickey rather than the private person. So I thought that was caught very well.
I think David's given us a good portrait. It's Asa, but it's a slightly heavier Asa. He had a delicacy to him that isn't quite there.
It was better earlier in the day, I think. Jennifer's portrait of Asa makes him look like a 12-year-old. But technically, she's very good. She gets the texture of skin, and we saw that in her self-portrait. She's done it again.
I think Charles was able to distill an essence of Asa, which, for me, actually lives in the hold of the head on that neck. There's a sort of fragility there that Asa really did have. Peter caught a sort of tenderness, a gentleness that was there.
I think this treatment's great, the colour. I also really like the fact that Peter didn't overwork it. I think he did absolutely the right thing.
I think Lee was doing a really good job, but I think he became obsessed with the detail.
I don't get a sense of her there, which is a pity because it's got great light.
Inma went rogue, delivered us this green. Actually, I think she pulled it off.
What I liked about Inma was that the whole day has been about making a piece of work that she was happy with.
Yeah.
She wasn't remotely interested in how we felt about it.
The judge's next task is to reduce today's 9 artists to a short list of 3. And at first, that seems easy.
There we go.
I can't help but think that these 3 all sat together are the perfect 3.
Really? You don't like the one on the end?
I do. Do you think this is better than this? Because...
I do.
This is a beautiful bit of painting.
It's a great painting, but that has just captured everything about the person. Can we flip that one and that one?
Now, they look really good.
They feel really strong. Actually, I have to say, that feels stronger as a final 3.
Yeah.
After careful consideration, the judges have arrived at their shortlist. The first artist is Joe Halden.
The second artist is Lauren Carter-Bridges.
And the third artist to be shortlisted, Charles Williams.
I've absolutely loved today to have the privilege to spend all day just painting, and he chose it, which is brilliant, so very, very happy.
What this group, 222, screams at us is through totally diverse personalities.
Yeah.
We look for our artists to be distinctive. You know, a great artist always brings a new style, a new way of painting, and ultimately I think that's what every artist is searching for.
But you're so right, Joan. The different personalities shine through. Jo just stood there with her hand in her pocket, very relaxed. Meanwhile, there's an emotional tidal wave on her left.
I think Lauren was struggling because the way she paints is very thick paint on this metal panel, and it slides around and didn't give her opportunity to build this up.
Strangely, I think that Lauren almost benefited from having a shorter period of time, because I think what we don't see in the Mickey portrait is the introduction of pale flesh colour. So she didn't get to that point, and I think that richness and complexity might have gone as she layered more on top.
And an entirely different style of painting from Charles.
You don't need to paint every part of the body, you just need to find the essence, and he's done that. I've never seen portraiture done like this before, but it rings true.
And then Jo, calm, simple, straightforward, and delivering with enormous precision.
It's like a self-portrait. There's directness and luminosity of the gaze, the directness of the connection between us and the person on the canvas. And that comes from a very crisp and clear way of putting paint down.
There's so many elements in the choice you have to make. Are you looking forward to it?
I am, because I know we're going to definitely get a really good painter, because we've got 3 super strong painters here.
Jo, Charles, Lauren, however much we'd all like to put all 3 of you through to the semi-final, it simply is not possible.
The artists that the judges have selected demonstrated patience in finding a true likeness with a distinctive approach. And that artist is Charles Williams.
Congratulations.
Well, I'm elated. It's extraordinary. I always think other people know what they're doing more than I do, so it's a surprise.
Well done, Jo. Such a beautiful painting. We loved your submission as well. Really lovely.
I thought Charles was a worthy winner. I love the way he describes Asa with just the line, but you know exactly who it is. Well done. Very good.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
I thought the winning portrait was brilliant. I loved his stuff the whole day through, so I'm not surprised at all. I'm really pleased for him.
Well done!
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you.
Really love it. Really cool. Look excited to see what you do next. We're delighted with our winner, Charles. It was just Asa there on the canvas, not just in his face, but in his body language. And he did it with so little, and I think that's really what gave him the edge.
It has given me a great confidence boost, and I am looking forward to the next go, because now I know what to expect, to some extent.